Good morning, scholars. This is Miss Horne again, and I have just recently finished one fabulous book. It's called The Famous Nini. This was a really good book because it brought up my love for opera music and it brought out my desire to always see something good happen in a story. And all throughout this story, little things always happened. So as we come across them, I want you to think about how would you react if you were Nini. Now we're getting ready to meet Nini, the book was written by Mary Natheri and illustrated by John Manders. So as we meet Nini and as we meet these famous people, I want you to think about if you were Nini, what would you do? Or how would you react? Or what would be your response to what's going on? I always want to put myself in the place of the character so that I can have a different perspective of the story, not just my view, but also their view. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the person that we're going to meet is Giuseppe Verdi. He's a famous Italian opera composer. He wrote some really fantastic music way back when. And he is part of one of the characters of the story, and he helps us get kicked off. So as soon as I remembered I like Verdi, I went in search of his music. And I was able to find him doing a trio with the famous three tenors, and they completed a concert back in 1994. So let's take a listen. That's Luciano Pavarotti singing. Placido Domingo at the far end. how beautiful the music created by Giuseppe Verdi. And according to our story, the Nini, which is this white cat, was part of the reason how he was able to create this opera. So I thought it was most fulfilling and most a perfect opportunity for us to hear the music that was helped to be brought about by this perfect little white cat, Nini. All right, we're going to take a gallery walk with Nini so you can see all of the pictures. The one thing that I hated last week about reading the Prairie Train was that I felt like you weren't able to see the pictures. Miss Horne is a big visual person. That means I need to see it in order to get it. So I came up with doing a gallery walk, and I thought you would enjoy it because it's a movie, not me, but a movie. So you get to see all of the pictures. So let's take a look. And this is just the story unfolding. And my loves, that was just a treat. A small treat to where we're going to stop today. Oh, goodness. All right, so now you have some thinking questions that you are going to refer to once we get started with the story. The first one is, who are the main character or characters in the story so far? Because we're not reading the whole story today. Would you want to be Nini? Why or why not? How does the owner entice people to her coffee shop? Does this really work? Why or why not? How do people refer to Nini at the beginning of the story and then as the story moves forward? Describe Nini's character traits. Is Nini helpful? Is Nini mean, sad, happy? What are some other words that you can think of that might be able to describe Nini's character? Also, what is one lesson you've learned about Nini so far in the story? And the last one, I wonder what's going to happen next. What about you? Because I didn't give us the whole story, so I'm not sure what's going to happen next. I'm just as curious as you are. Well, all right, guys, let's get ready for Miss Horne to read you to those pages. And I can't wait. Hi guys, this is our story for the next 3 days. It's called The Famous Nini, and this is Nini. Remember, we did the gallery walk earlier, so you got to meet Nini. Now Miss Horne is going to read you the story. And it says, a mostly true story of how a plain white cat became a star. I personally can't wait to read you this story because it just touched my heart and it allowed me to go back and enjoy music. Yesterday we read our story about Trombone Shorty. Today we're going to read a story about an Italian opera. So yes, here are some pictures, and I didn't do this gallery walk, but it's okay. It's just a dedication to her Nonna, which is her grandmother. Our read aloud begins, and this is the first page. Long ago in Venice, on the Piazza San Marco, Nonna Framboni owned a cafe. A cafe is like an American restaurant. She served strong coffee and sweet treats, but the cafe was so small people passed by as if it didn't exist. One afternoon, Nonna opened the door, hoping the scent of coffee might bring in a customer. There sat a plain white cat. Nini, the stray, said Nonna. Every day you beg on the piazza. Now I found you at my door, but I have no food to spare, not even a scrap. The piazza is the piazza. I think I'm saying it correctly. It's just like a plaza. It's an open air place where people go to sit and look. And a cafe where it sells coffee is like Starbucks or a coffee shop. And look at her broom. She's using strong grass as her broom, not like what we would use today. Moments later, a man entered the cafe. Nini followed close behind. As Nonna served the man coffee, she saw that he was writing musical notes on paper. How is it that I, Verde, must struggle to find the right note? He muttered, scribbling wildly. Nonna crossed herself in surprise. Her customer was Giuseppe Verdi, the famous composer. Verdi pounded his fist on the table in frustration. Nini meowed. Meow. Ah, puss, Verdi cried. You have given me the exact note I need. He danced around the cafe with Nini in his arms. Take a look at Nini. Does Nini look happy? Nini looks a little bit frightened, I'm just saying. Not too cool. The next morning, what is she doing? That's right. She's putting a sign in her window. Let's see why. The next morning, Nonna put an announcement in the window. The great Verdi takes his coffee here. Maybe this will bring in a few customers, she thought. Remember one of our questions? One of our questions in our Think Aloud is, why did she put a sign in the window? That's right. She put it in the window to see if she could get customers to come in. Very good. And she used the fact that Mr. Verdi, the famous Italian composer, was in her store yesterday. So maybe, like this man is walking by, he'll see it. Excuse me one second. And he will come in because someone famous was in her store yesterday. It worked. Soon people crowded into the cafe, hoping to see Verdi. At noon, he returned. Where is the singing cat? He demanded. Nini the stray? Nini the extraordinary? Verdi gushed. He gave me a priceless gift. In return, I bring him a line of music from my opera, La Traviata. Verdi whisked a slip of lying paper from his pocket. That is his music that he composed because of Nini the stray. And remember we were listening to the three tenors before? Placido Domingo, Luciano Pavarotti, and Jose Carrera, the gentleman in the middle. Those three gentlemen were singing one of songs from La Traviata, which is Brindisi, the name of the song. And look who's coming through the door. Who is that, guys? That's right. That's Nini the extraordinary. Here we go. At just that moment, Nini trotted into the cafe. That's a new word for us, trotted. What is Nini doing? That's right. He's walking. So when someone is trotting, they're walking. But they're not walking slow. They're walking a little fast. And horses also trot. So when they're walking faster or fast, we call it trotting. So he's trotting into the store. He's walking into the store. or in this instance, the cafe, and dropped a mouse at Verde's feet. Nini dropped that mouse in his mouth at Verde's feet. The crowd roared with laughter. "Ah, Puss, another gift," Verde cried. "For this, I shall dedicate my next opera to you." An opera is a show that is musically based. It would be kind of like a musical. He held Nini on high for all to admire. The crowd cheered, "Bravissimo, bravissimo!" And everyone is happy for Nini because he, Giuseppe Verdi, is happy. That evening, her pockets full of coins, Nona put up another sign. "See the famous Nini here." That's Nini. "Nini, my stray," she said, "I know you are just a cat, but this might bring even more customers." She set a saucer of cream on the doorstep. Nini wrapped his tail around her leg. News spread quickly. Soon, artisans came to compare their glass beads to Nini's eyes, which are green in color. Hoping for a perfect match, poets sat with Nini for inspiration. Noblemen told stories about him in the palace halls. Wow, who is this? They look important. Do you think you know who they are? Let's find out. Let me try it this way. Here, oh, much better, much better. All right. Then one day the king, and queen of Italy arrived at the Pax Cafe. They approached Nini, who sat on a table accepting treats from customers. I wonder what they want. Do we know what they want? What do you think they want? Well, guys, we'll have to find it out tomorrow. I have some questions for you. Do you think you're ready? We're going to go back to the read aloud, and we're going to look at those questions, those 5 lovely questions, possibly 6 lovely questions. But the one that's the most important of all is, if you were Nini, would you behave the way that he is throughout the story? Or would you be different? And if you were going to be different, how would you be different? What are some of the things that you would do differently than what Nini did? All right. I'm going to add us back into the PowerPoint. I'm also going to add us the questions so that we can make sure that we're answering those questions, because it's real important. I also gave them to you in Spanish so that you can relate them to Nini. And I would encourage each and every one of you to take a look at the book and at the gallery walk that we used earlier for our lesson. All right, guys, until tomorrow. Remember, you have some questions in the Think Aloud, and I will be joining you tomorrow with our second part.